Hello guys, how are you? And welcome back to another stream. How are we all this evening? I'm sorry, it's raining quite a lot outside and my desk is right by a window, so I hope it's not too loud for me. Let me know if it gets too loud. I might have to move. But I hope it's alright at this moment. So say hello in the chat. Who have we got? Who have we got watching? Hi Connor. Hi Salman, hi Raheel, hi Eric, hi Ahmed, how are you doing? How are you all? Hello from Egypt. Wow, thank you. Surely it must be getting quite late out there. Thank you for coming by and watching. So yeah, let's get right into it. So So let's get into the questions. Where do I live? I go to university in Durham in England, so that's where I am at the moment. Evening all, hello. We're waiting your wildcard team. I'm not on my wildcard this week. I will be when it comes to probably game week 15 or 16. So yeah, I'll be on my wildcard later in a couple of weeks' time. I think not quite yet. Thoughts on Schürrle with Ranieri now? I think if you have Fulham assets, I wouldn't sell them just yet. I'd wait and see. Yeah, I'd wait and see. I wouldn't buy or sell any of your Fulham assets. Yeah, and just see what happens. To be honest, it's. I can imagine Schürrle might be played as the second striker. So Schürrle's probably not a bad option to go for, but I wouldn't be bringing in. I just wait and see how they look first few weeks. I want to ask if Johnny's injury could affect Doherty's attacking roles. I think unlikely. I think if anything, it might do the opposite. So I wouldn't worry about that. No, I wouldn't worry about Johnny's attacking. No, Doherty's attacking output. Thanks, Ahmed. Thoughts on Digne? I'm going to get onto Mendy replacements in a little bit. You can't hear the rain much. All right, that's good. It's very loud in my room, but hopefully the microphone's facing me, not the window behind it. And Mendy is not there. Worth a punt on Sane or Dilbert, the safe option. Right, Raheel. It depends whether you want a short-term option or a long-term option. Short-term Sane is a great option, and actually with but David Silva with Bernardo Silva out and Kevin De Bruyne still not back is definitely the safer option. But I reckon Sane for the next few weeks his output will be much higher. So I would look at Sane. It's someone I have considered, but I wouldn't want him over Aguero at the moment. So I'm not looking to get in Sane. I wouldn't have him. Yeah, I wouldn't have him over Aguero. But if you're looking for a second one, he offers great value. I think. Yeah. So thoughts on Mane? Again, we'll get to Liverpool assets in just a bit. Again, I just want to mention the injuries. We haven't heard back about quite a lot of them. Martial was in training today, so he looks to be fine. Mendy, we know, is out. Wan-Bissaka, we haven't heard anything on yet. Richarlison's fine. Most players look fine, to be honest. I wouldn't worry about your injuries. Doherty, we don't know. I think he'll probably end up being fine. He's got a facial injury. Normally those things are alright. Players tend to wear a mask, and that's about it. So yeah, injuries look to be alright. As you can see from my team, I am not selling Mendy this week. I am not selling Mendy this week. I know I'm 95% sure who my Mendy replacement will be, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm not replacing him this week. I'm looking at David Silva, Sane, and Aguero, and Keane, Digne, Richarlison as two triple ups. Wow. From that list, David Silva, Sane, Aguero. So with the Everton guys, don't get double Everton defence. I just don't think that is. I think that's a bit of overkill. I can see why people are jumping on Dean and Keane for Mendy replacements, but both seems a bit much. And David Silva, Sane, Aguero is great, but if they win 1 or 2-0, which again is unlikely for City, but if they do win that, you're going to be really struggling. So yeah, again, I'd probably look. As you can see from my team, I'm never a firm believer in tripling up in any team. So I would be against tripling up on either of them, to be honest. Yeah. Wan-Bissaka covers Everton's trips to Anfield and the Etihad. Didn't great option at that price. Everton looks solid. Wasn't said last few seasons. Yeah. Again, we'll get to him, but yeah, he does look like a really good option. Yeah, he does. Well, why don't we start? We'll start there actually. We'll start on my number 3. So who are your Mendy replacements? So yeah, so probably just double up. Yeah, one of those two. Probably I'd go David Silva. Probably the safer option. Sane may score more, probably short term, but if it's a long term move, then David Silva. If it's a short term move, then Sane. By short term, I mean up until Christmas. But I'd probably go David Silva. Digne is my transfer this week, presumably in for Mendy. So yeah, who are your Mendy replacements? Let me know. I am bringing in uh, a fellow Man City player, as you might realise. Um, yeah, so I'm bringing in a fellow Man City player that is not Eric Laporte. It is John Stones. Now, I was reading there were some stats out, and he hasn't made a foul in the past 3 weeks or something. They haven't conceded an open play goal since Stones has been back in the team. Now, I want to make sure, because last time Mendy got injured, Stones got dropped. And I want to wait these couple of game weeks just to check that's not a coincidence. I'm happy with Stones playing 2 out of 3 games, which is probably what I'll get from him. Maybe 3 out of 4. I know he's going to get rotated, but I am going Stones. I think the money that I saved there will really help me out on my wild card. It will probably fund Harry Kane, but that's a conversation for closer to the time. How's Chilwell as an option for Mendy? He is great. Leicester's fixtures are still pretty good. Chilwell does look like good attacking output, but I feel like there are better options than him. But he's not a bad option, really isn't. Let me just have a look quickly at Leicester's fixtures. Right, let's just get it up so I have my app up ready. Who are we looking at? Leicester. Here we go. Chilwell here. So Brighton, Watford, Fulham in the next 3, and Palace in the next 5. Yeah, if you've got someone that rotates well with him for his 3 difficult fixtures in 16, 18, and 19, then he is a great option. You is Dean or Chilwell. Again, let me just check. It's tough. I mean, to be honest with you, I think the Dean or Chilwell move will be a popular one, and it probably depends who you've got on your bench. If you've got Wan-Bissaka on your bench, I imagine he rotates quite well with with Dean. So Dean in rotating with Wan-Bissaka, yeah, is probably a very good option over Chilwell because of that. Chilwell may be on paper the better option, but you've got to look at your rotation. This is why I've got Bennett and Wan-Bissaka in my team, 2 players who rotate pretty well now till game week 30 or something like that. Yeah, so the main options that people are looking at are Laporte, who is now 6 million, Stones, who is still 5.3, Walker 6.5, and then that's from City, and then you've got people like Robertson, Lucas Dean, Trent. Trent's gone up in value. He's now 5.1. Went up last night. Not predicted, I think, by virtually any of the sites, Fix or FPL statistics. If you guys are looking for price change predictors, FPL statistics or FPL Fix, if you put them into Google, they'll both come up. Both are great services. Some get one right, so I tend to use both of them together. Gives you the best outcome. But yeah, keep the questions coming in, guys. And we will get onto the squad ratings in just a bit. So let's talk about one of the questions you guys asked me in on Twitter was, is a heavy defense 5 at the back plausible? And that was something I wanted to discuss. Let me know what you guys think. Is a heavy defense, a 5 at the back, a solid 5 at the back, with probably 5 million as your cheapest midfielder, is that as your cheapest defender worthwhile? My personal opinion, I'll just let you guys say what you think. Let me know about the heavy defense. My personal opinion is no. Not because I don't think 5 at the back is worth it, but I think you can get more value. There's so much value in cheap defenders this year that there's no point going for, Alonso, Robertson, Trent, Alderweireld, and Laporte all in one team. There's no point in having that. The likes of Wan-Bissaka, Bennett, Dean now, Yedlin, Doherty, they offer such great value. I really wouldn't be going. I don't think 5 at the back is necessarily a bad formation. I think 4 at the back with 3 premium defenders and 2 that rotate is probably the best way to go. So yeah, Maddison or Fraser. Fraser. I don't know when Maddison's meant to be back. We haven't heard anything on him. I'd still go Fraser. I think probably I took him out this week and I am slightly regretting it. So yeah, Fraser. Pedro in as Willian is playing now. To be honest, I saw he started for Brazil, but Pedro might start this weekend, and we've got Tottenham. Chelsea have Tottenham, so it's not really a big return you're going to get from Pedro. It's going to be a 1 week move, because Willian seems to be the preferred choice, as much as I hate to admit it. So no, I wouldn't be getting Pedro in, and I probably wouldn't be getting Willian in either. I wouldn't look at either of them. Spurs fixtures are improving a lot soon. What players would you consider other than Kane? So I see a lot of, initially Trippier, of course, and Lloris actually. Lloris costs 5.4 million and he seems to be returning a lot of points, and he does make saves as well. Even though Spurs fans and a lot of people say he makes a lot of mistakes, he does seem to be returning points when he does play. I imagine, Connor, you're asking me about the midfield. So in the midfield, Dele Alli, of course, and I think Dele Alli could be a really good one. I would not look at Eriksen, and then I'd probably look at Son or Lucas, and it's sort of depending on who plays. But I think there'll be a lot of rotation in that midfield, apart from maybe Dele Alli, and he's probably where I'd be looking. Another one that don't laugh, and he might be one to sit on your bench, is Musa Sissoko. He seems to be in favour. He seems to be playing almost every game. It might change now that Ali's back, but he costs 4.9. And for those fixtures for Spurs, to have a Spurs player for 4.9 seems crazy for me to suggest bringing him in, but he does have good fixtures. So to sit on the bench, and he will get some game time, he will. And Spurs often score late, so if he's coming on in late in the game, then he's not a bad person to have necessarily to come off your bench. As for Kane, just a quick note on him. Um, I'm still not sure on him. I'm still not sure on him. I think I'll probably get him in, but I don't know how currently. Without tearing on my wild card, that would be. So yeah. I still think Kane from 15 looks like a great option. He seems the most nailed in that attack. Um, yeah, so yeah, Kane is the most nailed in that attack, but they don't seem to be scoring enough goals yet. But I am definitely considering getting in Kane just to preempt the goals that are surely coming for him. Martial and Success or Arnie and Kearney. Presumably you're playing one. And then I'd have to say that's a Martial or Arnautovic straight shootout. Um, yeah, a starter and a sub. It's basically Tom Kearney. Tom Kearney is a better option than Success, obviously, because he's at least he's playing. And Success won't be playing that much, which makes me want to go for Arnautovic. Arnautovic and Tom Kearney because of the strength you'll need in your bench over Christmas. If it was one on one, I reckon Martial is probably a better option. If it's just the two of them, but Arnautovic and Kearney are a better duo. Richarlison subbed on for Neymar after 6 minutes. Oh no. Please no. Well, let me just check. I use an app called Forza, which is great. It has every single, score, really easy to find. Yeah, Neymar, Richarlison after 8 minutes. So one to watch. Just make sure he doesn't get any more injuries. But he's obviously fit enough to play. And it's only a Tuesday and they play at the weekend, so there's no problem whether he's going to start at the weekend. He's currently got my armband as well, Richarlison. So yeah, really one I am. He's a season keeper for me, so hopefully he does all right tonight. But yeah. So let's move on to our Liverpool players, and mainly we'll talk a little bit about their defense to start with, but then the main talking point is Salah versus Mane, of course. But I feel like there's a lot to talk about with them at the moment, especially after this last week. Oh well, last game week, I mean. So Trent obviously seems to be back in favour. Their first choice defence is Alexander Arnold, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. Robertson, Van Dijk are the most nailed. I'd probably say Gomez is the third most nailed. I mean, it's close for him and Trent, but Gomez can play right back, which is why I say that. And then obviously Alisson. All of them, four to be honest, are great options. I'm keeping Trent. Again, him and Stones. If I get sort of, if they play 3 out of 4 each, and then one won't play and the other one will, to be honest, I'm quite happy with accepting their rotation at this time for their price. So yeah, Trent is a good option. Of course, Robertson is the best option in their defence. And now on to midfield. I mean, we'll just mention quickly Shaqiri, and Shaqiri looked great for Switzerland last night. So yeah, I want to just know, when would you consider bringing in Shaqiri? He seems to be on great form, and if he can cement a position in that team, he's great value. So he's one on the watch list, absolutely. Um, so yeah, but onto the Salah and Mane, and an interesting fact that I found today is that Mane has less assists this season than Edison. Mane has had 0 assists this season, which is quite a staggering statistic. Um, yeah, it's quite a staggering stat that he's had 0 assists, and so many people seem to own him, and he hasn't had a single assist. He's scored goals, of course. Yeah, Mane is a waste investment, and I have to admit, I think you're better off going with no Liverpool attack. You're better off going with no Liverpool attack over having Mane, to be honest. And a Mane to Dele Alli shift in a couple of weeks could be a real move. Actually, I think watch out for that one. Monitor Shaqiri. If he keeps getting a few starts, he looked really lively. He can finish very well. So for his price, I mean, he seems like a good option. Yeah, he really does. Again, one with the amount of rotation over Christmas, do you want to bring in someone like Shaqiri, who's going to have, or who is such a rotation risk? Maybe not. But yeah, Mane is not an option, and Salah at 13 million. I was saying, talking to someone earlier, Salah at 13 million obviously is so expensive, and Salah himself at 13 million probably isn't worth it. But Salah captain, what he can bring to you as a captain and the consistency he brings might be worth it. I don't think he's got that much going for him, to be honest. He keeps sort of niggling away, yeah, and I'm keeping him. Because in my mini leagues, a lot of people have Mane, so that having Salah over him is pushing me up the ranks. But if everyone had Salah, I just don't know. I just don't think he's doing that much at the moment. Except he does seem to be playing up front, so he obviously is trusted in front of goal. He's one of their main goal threats. So I don't know. I find it tough to tell, but I find it hard to justify 30 million in a player who isn't like blowing our socks off with points. Hazard returns. I'm keeping Mane for Watford game, probably then shifting to Sane or Dele Alli. Well, yeah, that could work. Keeping him for this game definitely, and then wait and see for maybe Dele Alli and wait for those Spurs fixtures to turn. Wait for those Spurs fixtures to turn and bring in Dele Alli again. Try and jump on these. This is what makes a difference. If you make a good prediction and jumping on a player before he starts returning or 1 week into his start, then you'll be ahead of the curve in getting this player for cheaper. So these Spurs players are ones to watch definitely. Hazard returns are getting inconsistent. Should we consider swapping for Sterling? He's scored 8 points in the past 4 weeks. That is true, but he has been injured. He has been injured, and he is the second highest point scoring player, even though in the past 4 weeks he scored an average of 2 points per week. So I would keep him for this game, and I'd keep him for Fulham. And if he doesn't, return you points against Fulham, then I would look to offload. I would absolutely look elsewhere because it's a lot of money to having a player who's not returning that much. And if he doesn't do that, then if Hazard doesn't do that, then a combination of moves of Hazard to Harry Kane on my wild card will definitely be happening. So I kind of don't, as a Chelsea fan, I want him to perform, but it'd make life a lot easier if he didn't. Salah's about to rise in price, is he? I don't understand that, to be honest. I don't know why so many people are bringing him in, but where is he? Okay, he's not. No one is particularly close. He's on the rise. Yeah, he's not that close to rising, but yeah. 3 of my mates don't have Salah. They've been doing much better than me. I owned him from the start, ditching him on my wild card this game week. Sterling and Hazard. Yeah, this is the thing. The money elsewhere could be a real help with Salah at the moment. So I think it's on a personal basis. Some teams can afford to have him in. Some you just can't warrant having him. So it's a tough one to call, I think. But yeah, I'm keeping him for now. Yeah, I'll keep him for now. So, we sort of discussed the Mendy replacements, and we'll get onto the eight, that sort of midfielder slot. We've discussed a few of them, but we will get onto it. So, the squad ratings, the squad transfer help. We will be doing that in a minute. So guys, tweet out your teams with the hashtag tips100. As well as the number of free transfers and money in the bank. So yeah, there you go. I've just put it in. I've just put it there for you. This is my new thing. I'm gonna rate people's squads so we can sort of look at what I'm thinking all together. So if you just go and tweet that out, and I will rate them when they start to come up, and we'll get them. I'll put them up on the stream, and we can all see them. So for now, we will talk about the £8 to £10 million midfielders. So let me just midfielders sort by value. So the players that we are looking at are Sanchez now at 10 million. It obviously is a no-go. Mane, we've sort of discussed, up to 9.9 now, is obviously, I'm still thinking is probably not a good option at the moment, the way he's performing. De Bruyne, close to coming back, one to watch definitely. Very consistent and could be rotation proof in that City side. Sane, a good short-term option now Mendy is out. Ericsson, not a particularly good option, plays very deep for Spurs nowadays, so not one to look at, except now he could be on set pieces. Dele Alli of Spurs, a better option, definitely. And let's keep going. Sorry, let me just let me just tweet that out one more time. David Silva next, again, very consistent player, a good one to have in as sort of secondary backup City cover. Yeah, so I would say he's a good one to have. Who else are we looking at? Ozil. Arsenal's fixtures do get better, but I think there are better options than him. And then Son is the last one. Again, I'd wait and see if he's getting consistent starts. Yeah, so I'd wait and see if he's getting consistent starts within his in that Spurs side, and if he is, then I'd be looking to bring him in. But I think there are better options. So the best in those price brackets we had Sane, David Silva, Dele Alli, De Bruyne probably. Obviously De Bruyne's currently injured, but he's speeding up his recovery, I think, so he will be back soon. So let's bring up the first teams. Let me just do this for you. Order. Move to top. Sorry, order. I clicked on the wrong one. Display capture, there we go. Order. That goes there. There we go. Yeah, so you should be able to see this team now. So you're on your wild card. That's good. Good to be able to discuss that. Um, ooh. So Laporte, Robertson, Doherty, Alonso's. Let's look at your bench. Strong bench, definitely looking good. From first impressions. Um, yeah. So from first impressions. So Laporte, yes, a good option. I mean, I'm opting for Stones to save that little bit of money, but each to their own. Robertson, Doherty, Alonso, solid stuff. Absolutely. Hart in goal looks like a great option. I saw a graph today. Hart so, has the most shots taken at him this season, but it has one of the lowest standards of squads. Or lower standards of shots against him, so offers a lot of save points for him. Sterling, Hazard. Okay, so you got no Liverpool cover in there, but you've gone for double Man City instead. Jimenez up front, great option. Team looks really good. Team does look great. Wan-Bissaka, obviously great. What would I change? I mean, you haven't gone. You've gone triple City. That's fine. There isn't much I'd change. Potential Spurs player in there. Potential Spurs player in there. And Liverpool attack. You've got Robertson. You're probably going to offer enough, to be honest. If you can't stretch to Salah. So yeah, maybe look at a Spurs player and how you could get them in maybe a couple of weeks. But I wouldn't. There's not much I'd change looking at that team. It looks great and looks great for this week as well. So how much money? 1.4 in the bank. Wow. Now 1.4 in the bank. I'd probably invest in upgrading Success, Camarasa, and Steel. Burnley have really. Sorry, is this your team, Prabat? Burnley have a lot of good keepers, so Hart over this Christmas period may not be playing every week, and you want your keeper to be playing, so maybe having a second keeper could be an option, as well as upgrading Success and Camarasa. This is your team. Hart and Aguero to Kane and Fabianski in Game Week 15. Not bad moves at all. If after those transfers you're left with any money, upgrade maybe Success or Camarasa, but it's not vital. It's if you've got spare funds. Great team, and there's a great couple of moves that you've got there. So we'll go to this one first. 1 free transfer, 0 in the bank. So Robertson, Doherty, Alonso, seeing a lot of common trends in these teams. Mane, Hazard, Martial, Richarlison, Sane, Vardy, Ings. Right. Okay. Defense, absolutely fine. Do not worry one little bit about your defense. Mane, Hazard, Martial, Richarlison, Sane. Mane is one to look at, and then your strikers maybe one to look at. Nothing in the bank. Ooh. Okay. Wilson is one to keep, even if you have to bench him probably. But Mane to someone I just struggle with Ings, to be honest. Ings is what makes this Vardy and Ings, to be honest. If you need to Vardy to someone like Arnautovic, who has great fixtures. Vardy to Arnautovic. Vardy to Arnautovic, probably what I'd do, and then I don't know how much that would leave you, about 2.5 in the bank, and with nothing in the bank, you couldn't get Salah in for Mane unless you downgraded Mane and upgraded Vardy. The three players that I'd look at doing something with are Mane, Vardy, and Ings. Not urgently. Vardy, I mean's fine, but he's not worth the money. Mane again can return, and you could do great with those two. They could both score a couple in one game quite easily, and Ings could easily return. So it's not something that needs, vital attention. But Sane as your only Man City player does worry me slightly. So Mane to David Silva. Mane to David Silva could be something to look at, and then using that money. Vardy to Arnautovic, as Rahil has said, is another option. But team does look good. Double keepers is always good. I'll be interested to see who you play at the weekend. You've got Doherty starting, I suppose, so maybe worth having Patricio on the bench. But team does look good. Yeah, Vardy, Ings. I definitely look at Arnautovic, to be honest. In for Vardy. That's what I'd be looking at. But I suppose Ings can be on your bench with Wilson, so those two are fine. But if you brought in Vardy, Arnautovic, and then look to upgrade Mane, then that could be Mane to Sterling, to be honest. That could work very well. Vardy to Arnautovic, Mane to Sterling. And that could look really nice. So that's what I'd be looking at. But thank you for your team. You haven't put how much money you've got in the bank. So if you're in the chat, who is this? John. If you're in the chat, John, please can you let me know how much you've got in your bank and how much free transfers? I'm going to go with one free transfer and nothing in the bank. Again, 2 rotating keepers can be good over this Christmas period. Defense looks very strong. Keane over Dean I suppose I don't know why you do that, but Keane is great from set pieces. Again, Mane is a questionable one. You've got Arnautovic on your bench, which is great. And yeah, benching him from this week might not be a stupid thing to do. But yeah, Mane out might be the one thing I'd suggest doing. He's had 0 assists this season, which is just staggering. It shows he just doesn't want to get involved very much. Yeah. It shows he doesn't want to get involved. 4.8 in the bank. Right. 4.8 in the bank. Okay. Well. 5.8. That's an interesting one. I like the look of Mane to Sterling, Aguero to Kane. You could be ballsy and do something like that. Wow, there's a lot of moves you could do. Fraser upgrade, but I probably wouldn't, to be honest. I've sold him this week, and I think I regret it. Jimenez is one to keep as well. So I suppose Mane to Salah could be another option. And upgrading Camarasa. There's not actually that much I do to this team. But to be honest, I reckon that 4.8 mil will be used to bring in a Spurs player and probably Harry Kane in the future. So I wouldn't go blowing it all quite yet. I'm looking at a front three of Kane, Aguero, and then Jimenez or Arnautovic. And you will probably could be looking at the same, a 4-3-3. Yeah. So there's a lot you could do. If I had to bring it down to set transfers, Arnautovic to 11.8 means you about 500,000 short. Arnautovic to Kane and maybe Mane to Sane or something like that. Yeah, but I would look if you've got that much in the bank, it gives you a lot to work in with Harry Kane. We'll go on. We'll do one last one. Not in the bank. Transfer Mane and Oriel out. Richarlison and Martial in. Richarlison and Martial in is great. But Clement, who are you benching? You will now have an insanely strong bench. I presume Fraser's going to be on the bench this week. Would make the most sense. But yeah, coming into the Christmas period, the fact that you've got Fraser and Arnautovic sat on your bench could work wonders for you when everyone has bench players and you've got them coming off. But you could also struggle with a lot of funds. To be honest, what I'd maybe look to do is downgrade Bernardo Silva um, to someone cheaper and upgrade Lacazette to. I mean, I'm talking about him a lot. Kane, try and preempt him. I think he can score a lot of points over this Christmas period, and so Bernardo and Lacazette out. Kane and someone cheaper could be good moves. But I'm really liking the way your squad looks. Sorry. Um, right. So let's get back to it. Let me just do that. Back to where we were. Oh wow, 43 minutes. Um, before we go any further, and I suppose it's probably not that much to talk about, unless you've all got any final questions. Tweet me any questions. If you can't message in the chat, always tweet me your questions and put this hashtag in the tweet. Hashtag tips100. Hashtag tips100 if you can't type in the chat, and I will answer those questions now for you. But yeah, I've hit 100 subscribers over the past couple of days. I'm so pleased with that. Things are going really well. I'm really enjoying doing these streams, really enjoying talking to you guys and hearing what you've got to say about the season so far. And I look forward to seeing where it all goes. But thank you all for coming by each week and subscribing and liking and commenting and getting involved. It means a lot. So yeah, thank you. Ryan, best Mendy replacement you think? So I can't do one because it depends on the budget. An unlimited budget, I'd probably pick Robertson over Alonso to be honest. A single player Robertson. Best Man City cover, I'm going John Stones because of his decreased budget, or Laporte if you can stretch that far. If not, Lucas Digne. But I have to say, I think Man City defensive cover is needed because of the amount of people that have it. But I don't think they'll keep that many clean sheets, to be honest, over this Christmas period. If their fixtures aren't that easy, and a lot of their easy games fall away from home. So, but yeah, I think you need City defensive cover, to be honest. A lot of people got Edison, and that's probably the best way to go. Is Sterling a viable move for Salah long term? Yes, he probably is, to be honest. You won't Salah. You will burn you some weeks. You know he will, but then Sterling, you can see he can score a lot in one week, and he's always involved when he plays, and even when he comes off the bench. So in a long term, yeah, it is something that I would consider, but right now I'm not. But I can see why people would. Yeah, and it's not a stupid move at all. So so okay. A couple more of the squads. So I will just go and show you them. I want Doherty, but is he going to be out? I just wait, to be honest. Your budget is 5.6, then I'd go John Stones if you don't have City defence, or I'd go with Lucas Digne. So we will do this team. You haven't told me how much you've got, so I'll go with naught again. Team looks great. Holobas on the bench. Shaw, he's suspended for one game, I think, so it's not a problem. Maybe not the best option. Maybe Shaw to Lucas Digne could be a good option. Again, Izquierdo, I think we had this last week, isn't one that I'd look to keep very long. You got Deulofeu, so Izquierdo down to free up some funds could be vital, and you have no Man City player in your team. That's the issue with your team. Your team looks great, apart from no Man City cover. So even if it's David Silva, the cheapest option, I really would look to go and get one of them in. Morata is a questionable one, and maybe that could be the way you go to get one of these Man City players in. But yeah, not a bad looking team, but overall you need those Man City players. Finally, Ben, how are you? So 2 free transfers in the bank. Begovic to Patricio. Yeah, good moves, to be honest. Bournemouth I've kept a few clean sheets recently, but Wolves' defence is definitely needed. Mane, as we've been discussing, Mane out potentially. You've got Trippier on your bench, which is a great player to have with these fixtures coming up, and Murray. So the ones I'd look at definitely are Begovic, Mane, and Glenn Murray are the ones to look at. Your replacements maybe Dele Alli, Leroy Sane, but you've got double City attack. So yeah, but Begovic to Patricio is a great one. Murray, to be honest, I think you need one of Jimenez or Arnautovic in your team. I'm gonna go with Edison and then go. Yeah, that is a good option. Sorry, Ryan. Yeah, Lucas Digne and avoid the rotation and get Edison is a good pick. Yeah. Um, although cheap goalkeepers always sort of outperform price wise expensive keepers, but that's probably a better way to go and avoid the rotation of the defense. So yeah, Begovic, Mane, Murray, the ones to get out. Murray to one of Arnautovic or Jimenez, depending on what you want to do with Mane. You had virtually nothing in the bank, so yeah, Murray to maybe Murray upgrade to Arnautovic and Mane down to someone like Dele Alli with those fixtures coming up could be the moves to look at. Right, so let's get to our final questions, please, guys. Get all your final questions in, please. Yeah, thank you all again for the support and coming and dropping by. Getting close to the final to the return of the Premier League until I think it's March or February or something, a long time away till we get our next international break. So that's great. This one's been the Nations Cup's been great actually. And then there's been some great football on. Those of you, I was one who doubted it a lot when it first started, but it has looked great, and we're into the semi-finals, England. So can't really complain about that. But yeah, I'm glad to see the Premier League coming back this weekend, so I can not be quite as bored and not focus on 1 week of transfers for 2 weeks. I mean, I made my transfer on the first Sunday, so I would have been fairly bored for the past 2 weeks. Who's the best Arsenal player to get besides Lacazette? Hector Bellerin plays in such an advanced role, so he's definitely one I'd consider getting in. Leno at just 4.8, but him and Czech will probably rotate over that Christmas period. So Bellerin is a good one. If not, then if not Lacazette, Aubameyang's more expensive. Definitely not worth it over Lacazette, to be honest. And then maybe Ozil or Ramsey, but to be honest, Lacazette or Bellerin are probably the two players I'd look at from that. Would you spit Lacazette out for Dele Alli? Heard you mention him. I wouldn't necessarily straight away. I'd wait until that game week 15 in 2 weeks when Spurs' fixtures turn and wait and see how Spurs play over these couple of weeks. So it's not something that I'd look to do straight away. But Dele Alli, I think, really could be an option going forward, and he's one I'm considering getting in. Yeah, so Dele Alli, Lacazette in for Dele Alli is a tough one because I think Lacazette, Arsenal have great fixtures as well. So I just wait. It's definitely something to consider, but I'd wait and have a look over the next couple of weeks how they both play. To be honest, yeah. So I just wait on that one. Yeah. So anything? Any last questions? Please get them in. If not, thank you all again for coming by. Please subscribe, like, and then comment as always. And I will be on Twitter. Always there to help whenever you want to send me a question. I will be there. Yeah, and spread the word. Tell everyone again, and I will see you all back in a week's time, Tuesday 7:30. sorry, just a couple of final questions. Jimenez thoughts. Seems to be a great option, the best option at that price, and probably a better option than any 7 million forward. To get Kane in, who'd sacrifice Aguero, Salah, Hazard, Rahil? That's what I'm currently making that decision, and currently I'm sacrificing Hazard. Hazard is the one to look to go. That's because he hasn't returned recently. But again, it won't be for a couple of weeks, and Hazard has those weeks to redeem himself. So yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you all next Tuesday at 7:30. Good luck with your game weeks, and again, I will be answering questions as often as you want me to. Bye.